So the Walking Dead patch is now live, and there's a lot going on with the patch in terms of bugs and glitches and shiny new stuff, essentially. Something that happened with this patch, though, that's going extremely under the radar is plundering. And plundering is essentially the strongest it's ever been, at least in my opinion. So to kind of explain what I'm talking about, I'll just build out a loadout for a survivor that wants to focus on plundering in a match. So the first perk that you'd want to bring is Appraisal. That allows you at least 4 tokens to rummage chests. You can rummage only a chest once with that perk, so 1 token per chest. Then there's Ace in the Hole, which guarantees you at least 2 add-ons for every item that you plunder. Then there's Streetwise, which was just reworked so that the items that you plunder from a chest now have an 80% boost to the charges. And the last perk can go to either Residual Manifest or Scavenger, as either of those perks guarantee an additional token for rummaging chests. So one of those perks plus Appraisal gives you at least 5 tokens to rummage chests. And with those perks, you can also use the Shiny Coin Offering, which guarantees an additional 2 chests per trial. So in total, you should have about 5 chests that spawn in a trial. And on top of all this, I know this might sound counterintuitive, but if you bring one of the reworked keys, specifically one of the 2 rare versions of the keys, I'll just use the skeleton key as an example, that allows you at least 5 or 6 charges. Specifically, what has been changed about the keys is that they now allow you to instantly unlock a chest, and it also guarantees you a rare item or higher. An additional bonus, if you use one of these keys to instantly unlock a chest, is that it guarantees another survivor in the trial the ability to rummage that same chest that you unlocked. So, if you instantly unlock a chest yourself with a key, then you rummage the chest with Appraisal or the other perk like Residual Manifest, meaning that each chest, theoretically speaking, can be searched or rummaged at least 3 times. And if you have 5 chests that spawn in a trial, that means at least 15 additional items can be plundered in a match. And this is not even factoring in if other survivors bring in the Shiny Coin Offering as well. So when you take a step back and evaluate what's left over after combining all of these perks, offerings, and items, you essentially have a situation where survivors can stockpile a huge amount of items, and they can pretty much get whatever they want. And I would argue you're basically guaranteed to get at least something useful and potentially something that could also change how the match is going and flip the direction of the match from something that was going in the killer's favor to the survivor's favor. So whether it's some good toolboxes or some good med kits, something like that is bound to change how the match is going. And in this same patch where some of these perks and items were reworked, we also had Franklin's Demise getting nerfed so that the items that are dropped no longer lose any charges. Now, even with all this information in mind and Franklin's getting nerfed, I would argue that even if Franklin's did not get nerfed, I say it's still not a good enough counter for something like this where survivors can just stockpile as many items as they want. Because once you know the killer has Franklin's, you can just store all the items in one section of the match or just leave them in the chests as you find them. And if you ever need an item when you're not in danger or near the killer, you can just go find an item that you need and be on your way. So Franklin's pre-nerf still isn't that great of a counter for such a mass amount of items that can be stockpiled. And even with all of this, I still haven't even mentioned that there are other perks that you can combo plundering with that give other benefits. One of the newer perks, Apocalyptic Ingenuity, allows you to build a weaker pallet after rummaging or searching 2 chests. Then there's other perks like Specialists, which help with generators, so you really can combo plundering with other perks now and get other benefits outside of just the items that you're getting from the match. So with all of that being said, I've started to wonder if some of the creative / balancing decisions that are being made regarding items are sort of geared towards this long-term thinking that maybe they're trying to reduce the effectiveness of items that you bring into a match and maybe try and start rewarding people who search for items in a match instead. And I'm not saying for sure that's the direction they are going. I'm just trying to read between the lines on some of the decisions that they're making with items and perks and everything. So let me know what you think. Is plundering the strongest it's ever been? Or am I way off base with my thinking and thought process on all of this? Regardless of everything though, I'll probably still be busy plundering away in some future matches because at least it's something else to do other than generators. But that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching.